All right, it's been quite a while now, and I have an update for you. Basically, things blew up on me with the whole situation, what was going on. My, dream timeline was to get out of Denver by the end of February. Basically, I kind of overdid it moving. My back kind of stiffened up, and I decided I needed to take a couple days off. Then the weather changed, and it was a bunch of snow, and then I had trouble getting anything into my storage unit because there was a snowbank there, followed by either a deep puddle or a big sheet of ice. So it slowed me down, and this dragged on into March. At that point, I knew I was very unlikely to make it down to Texas in the timeline that I wanted to. So I was going to have to get new temporary plates for my vehicles before I went down there. Well, the day I was going to go down to the DMV, it closed. Or actually, no. The day I wanted to go down, I decided not to because I had so much stuff going on. That day, an individual from that DMV office tested positive. The next day, it was shut down, and it's been shut down ever since. So my plates on both my truck and the camper have expired in March, and there is right now no sign of the DMV opening still. So I've been kind of stranded. Not to mention I just kind of gave up on moving everything and rushing it. Although a lot of important stuff was already moved, so missing a ton of stuff from home, and I'm actually been living out of a suitcase because the clothes were the first thing I moved. I started moving room by room. Anyways, if I were ever to do this over again, I would take a much longer time because everything right now is a total disaster. So it's given me a ton of time to rethink what I was going to do, and I've made a few changes. At this point, I don't really want to go down to Texas because I wouldn't be able to get out of here obviously until June, end of June, possibly July. And I don't want to go to Texas every year, June or July, to renew my vehicle. So I'm going to change my domicile state to South Dakota. It's a little bit easier. It's only about 6.5 hours to Rapid City from where I am in Denver. So logistically, in the move process, it's a little bit easier for me. A lot of great advantages for the South Dakota, as far as taxes and insurance and fees, registration fees and stuff like that. So I don't have a problem with that. And initially, I'd been considering South Dakota. I really picked Texas just because I haven't spent much time there. Now, Texas is a place I intend to spend the winter. So right now I'm not planning to go down there until November, December. But everything is so up in the air right now with things not open, just total confusion, and I've got nothing settled. So that's kind of where things are. Where I'm going to go, I don't know. So an interesting thing, I at one point was thinking about just registering my vehicles in Colorado and just dealing with it for the remainder of the year. The problem is, because I actually purchased my vehicles and didn't finance them, I cannot register them online. Only if you finance the vehicle can you register it online. Now, you could renew, but since my vehicles were new and I had never intended to register them in Colorado, I can't do it. So I am completely stuck until the DMV opens. Or I have to register my vehicles in another state. South Dakota allows you to register your vehicles even though you don't have to go to the state. Texas is a problem in that you actually have to have your vehicle inspected. So it needs to physically be in the state in order to get your registration there. Another reason why South Dakota is a good option right now. So timeline, I honestly don't know. Everything is so messed up and so backwards right now. I haven't completed moving out, obviously, because I've got nowhere really to go with. And until the campgrounds open up and everything kind of frees up that way, I'm kind of stuck here. I don't want to risk jumping into something I'm not prepared for and having it be a nightmare. So I still have to sell my place. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to sell because I haven't, really wanted to deal with a bunch of people. Honestly, for myself, I'm relatively concerned about this disease or virus because I have some conditions that make me probably a higher risk for it. I have a respiratory condition, and in fact, I've almost died from pneumonia as a child, and I got seriously ill, almost had to be hospitalized a couple years ago from the flu. Hypertension, and now I'm definitely overweight, having not been able to do much for months. So it's really concerning to me about contracting this, because if I have a bad case of the symptoms, there's a very good chance I'll be hospitalized or could even die and make all this, just a total waste of time. So this is one of the reasons why I absolutely hate cities and wanted to get out of here. I just, missed the timing. If I'd been on the road, things would have been a lot different than they are being kind of stuck here. The area I live in Denver was one of the first areas that was hit with the virus, and it spread really quickly here. So at the time this stuff was coming out, mid-March, Colorado was like the 4th highest ranking state for cases, and it was blowing up, and things got crazy here real quick. Since then, I think, last time I checked, Colorado was only like 17, which is still pretty high considering there's only 6 million people here or so. But a lot of it was tied with tourism, and, I live near the airport, and so that's where most of the cases started coming into the state, and they spread around that area to a degree, as well as the rest of the state. It's surprising how widespread this thing has gotten. So basically, there's no true hiding from it unless you're in the absolute middle of nowhere. So yeah, a lot of concerns about being around a lot of people that travel a lot, who are more likely to come in contact with somebody that's contagious. A lot of stuff to, think about and consider. I think, boondocking is probably one of the best places to be. But there's a lot involved in that as far as getting the supplies you need and everything. And I just simply was not ready for it. And like I said, I got pinched a little bit with the weather turning bad. It had been a really nice January here. And then February and even into March, things kind of went south with the snow. Most of the good boondocking places that I know of in Colorado or higher elevations, they were all snowed in. It just was, bad timing. So if I had to do this all over again, I think timing-wise, I would have tried to leave in May and have planned accordingly for that. Buying the truck and trailer, when I do think I got some good deals, but I've had to pay for storage for the trailer, which is like $200 and something a month, $240 a month. I mean, it's just insane out here. So that plus a storage unit, which is another $220, $240 a month. I mean, I'm spending a fortune on this stuff that wasn't necessary because of how everything unfolded, and I don't know. I'm not real happy with with the way everything is gone. So yeah, now I think things are starting to open up, get geared up, hopefully get on the road relatively soon. But like I said, I mean, end of June is probably optimistic, but that's what I'm shooting for. On the positive side, this is going to give me a little bit of time to make some modifications and upgrades to the trailer, get things kind of situated before I hit the road. Hopefully have some of the bugs worked out, but I won't be able to have all the systems up and running, so that's still going to be trial and error on the road. Realistically, I should do a couple trial runs before I really hit the road, and this is going to give me the opportunity to do some of that. So maybe in the next couple weeks, I'll be able to get the trailer and everything out for a couple test runs, make sure everything is working before I hit the road full time, and just get a better feel for everything. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned as I do a few videos on some of the upgrades I'm making, and hopefully we'll get the maiden voyage here relatively soon. See you next time.